Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Houston Life. It's Monday, May 16th. I'm Courtney Savala.
It feels like a Monday, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
But it's going to be a great Monday. Hi, everybody. I'm Derrick Shore. Coming up today on the show, the bus, they're telling us, is just arriving. One of the greatest of all time, basketball legend Scottie Pippen is in the house. He will join us in studio to chat about his revealing memoir and also reuniting with local fans.
And another legend, Reid joins us to talk about his new movie, Facing Nolan.
Also, we will meet an exceptional high school varsity tennis player from Sugar Land. Find out what makes him one of a kind on and off the court.
And Lauren Kelly just interviewed another famous face to add to the lineup today. Hi, Lauren.
Another famous bride. You guys know her from the popular role in Father of the Bride, those movies, and hit television shows, according to Jim in Nashville. We're catching up with actress Kimberly Williams Paisley. She's chatting all about her busy summer schedule that includes hitting the road with her country superstar hubby, Brad Paisley. But for now, back to you, Derrick and Courtney.
Awesome.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Of all time, and it holds up all these decades later.
It certainly does. And I bet, Lauren, for you, becoming a bride this year has a special little place in your heart.
Timing. She even has her sneakers on. You'll get a shot of those a little later on. Hey, how was your weekend?
Listen, the weekend was so good, and I'm so glad that schedule kind of cleared early on Saturday. We talked about it here on Houston Life, and the fundraiser for the Houston Food Bank, Empty Bowls. I was able to make it there. It was so awesome at the Contemporary Arts Museum. And that's Paula Murphy, who we know and love from, she's a good friend of ours with the Houston Food Bank. But, you know, there were dozens and dozens and dozens of bowls that were there. And you could make a $25 donation, pick yourself an artisan bowl, and it was lovely. And, you know, it was a $25 donation straight to the Houston Food Bank. $1 equals 3 meals for them. So it was an incredible fundraiser. You know, they took a hiatus, of course. This is their first year back doing it after a number of years, and it was so well attended. Even though it was hot, everything was inside, and then you went outside, listened to some music, but it was a fantastic event.
And look at all those beautiful bowls. So if you make that $25 donation, you are essentially purchasing, as we just saw on that sign, 75 meals.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It's super fun.
And thanks to all the artists who donated their time and talents to that, because of course that event happens because of the generosity of our artist community.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time there. We had a little outing, a little field trip to Aviva Stadium. We went out to check out the Sabercats, and it was my first time watching a rugby game.
Okay.
We've had some of the guys here on the show before, but y'all, I'm telling you, it was one of the most exciting games to watch. I think we have some video we can show our viewers. Oh, okay, we're gonna watch it back here. I'll just step out of the way so you can see it. I'm telling you, it was one of the most exciting sports I have ever watched. A few dozen of us from KPRC were there. We met a lot of KPRC2 viewers, so thanks for coming up and saying hi. But I'm telling you, these guys out on the field, no helmets, no padding.
Yeah.
Just a whole lot of stamina. It was, I've never seen anything like it.
I'm glad they were there. Great game. And rugby is really, I think, for Houston, kind of catching the wave, if you will.
Yeah.
Lots of people are talking about them.
I highly recommend book your ticket and get out there. It was so much fun. And the players are just so nice, too, and very accessible players. They like to say hello. After the game, you can go out onto the field and chat with them, hang out.
Oh, I love that.
I know. Where else can you go and see that?
Not many places.
Hey, also a very familiar face to our Houston Life viewers. Remember Steph Gary? She was a reporter. Well, now she's Steph Gilbert, and she is about to welcome her very first baby with her husband, Aaron.
That's so lovely. I'm glad that you guys were able to make it. And her story, she's very public about it. Her struggles with trying to conceive and her rounds and rounds and rounds of IVF. And I'm so happy for them.
We are thrilled. And she now works for the NBC station out in Austin. And we met up in Round Top yesterday for her party.
Fun.
Round Top, and I hadn't been in a minute. And man, that place is booming.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. Beautiful mama to be there.
Good stuff. Well, congrats to Steph and Aaron right there. Okay, so the lunar eclipse, did you see it?
Of course we did.
It was so exciting.
It was so awesome.
And to see the neighbors out in the road and we're all watching it. I just need a better camera. I need a better photo of it.
I know, right? But I felt like, you know, you could see that little tiny shadow coming on the bottom at just like 9 p.m. And then it was like 9:40. I'm like, it's going to get red. I know it's going to get red. And we just kept going in and out, in and out. And AJ stayed up as late as he possibly could. But it was so fantastic to see it.
My first memory of an eclipse is with my mom. We were seated on our front porch in Utah, and she had me bundled up in a blanket, and we sat there just in silence watching it. It was really
so cool.
Hey, by the way, more than 1,100 people watched our Facebook Live event last night. League City, Kingwood, Southeast, Houston, Lumberton, and these are some of the photos that y'all shared with us.
So
cool. A big thank you to Kelly, Terrence, Tanaya, Connie, Brenda, Cindy, Carol, Ann, and Liz. We've been checking out your photos, and they look great.
They look awesome. It was so good, but yeah, I'm with you. I need a better camera.
I know.
Although the iPhone did a pretty good job.
It did an okay job.
It did a little red action.
See it. Yeah.
Did you watch any of the Billboard Music Awards right here on Channel 2?
Just a bit.
It was good. I mean, the fashion always kills me. There's always so much happening because it's just
in purple.
Purple, a lot of skin. There's lots of everything happening. But listen, Houston's own Megan Thee Stallion won top female rap artist. And I will tell you, this was one of the early awards of the evening. And her face, she was in pure shock when they announced her name. She literally just stood there, watch her face, like that. Frozen. Like, what just happened?
Oh, it keeps going.
I know. I was so excited for her, though. I'm glad she's having a moment. Of course, Diddy, P. Diddy, or we're calling him Diddy now, right? I guess. He was the host and executive producer, and Mary J. Blige given the Icon Award. And who presented that to her? Miss Janet Jackson.
Can you imagine? I mean, talk about a full circle
dream icon
coming true.
Yeah.
Super cool. Still one of the best concerts I've ever been to, Janet
Jackson. Hands down.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Mary J. rocked the house. I mean, this is definitely her year, right? She was performed at the Super Bowl halftime, looking amazing. I just think all these women are having a serious boss babe moment.
Mary J. Blige does not age at all.
No, she looks amazing.
I know. It's like a flashback to 20 years ago. She looks the same.
She looks the same. Okay, you ready to get this show started?
Is it not already
started?
Well,
it is, but it's just about to get better.
Okay.
Coming up next, listen, y'all, you're in for a treat. NBA legend Scottie Pippen's joining us live in studio. He just arrived here at the station. He's chatting about his latest bourbon business and his memories of playing with the Rockets. How you can meet him right here in town, coming up.
Bourbon business. I hope he brought samples. I hope so. Also, Joe Sam is standing by with a place you can celebrate Asian culture and heritage. Hi, Joe.
Hey, guys, that's right. I'll introduce you to the dynamic duo behind 93 Till and their reason for opening an inclusive eatery packed with tradition and positive vibes. Houston Life will be right back.
Welcome back to Houston Life. It is time now for our HTown Sit Down.
Let's meet today's guest.
He played 17 seasons in the NBA. He's also in the NBA Hall of Fame, 6-time NBA champion and 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Retired NBA legend Scottie Pippen is simply one of the best to ever grace a basketball court. The former Chicago Bulls and Houston Rockets player, who recently released his memoir, Unguarded, is also an entrepreneur, bringing his smooth style to the world of spirits with his bourbon whiskey called Digits. Let's have a cheers with Scottie Pippen in our HTown Sit Down.
Come on out, Scottie. Welcome to the show. It's so great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And thanks for the cocktails.
Yes,
Thanks for the drinks. This is like the best day ever. Scottie, welcome to Houston Life. It's so nice to see you and meet you in person. I was telling Courtney the other day, I feel like my childhood dreams are like coming true because I had your basketball cards and you were the favorite of the neighborhood. We're going to talk about one of the reasons why you're in Houston first, but let's talk about growing up. You were one of 12 kids.
Yes.
Is that a reason why you found basketball?
Well, I think it had a lot to do with it, but you know, growing up in the South and not having a lot to do every day, I found myself outside playing basketball all the time. And you know, as a child, I always dreamed that one day I would play in the NBA, so I was able to live my childhood dream out.
It is so fantastic, and you make it sound so easy, right? Like one day the NBA just came calling, you know, but you were passed up on the college level, and you know, I mean, it just, your story, it it lends to the story of you persevering, right? And really knowing what you want to do and going after that. I mean, that's kind of how you live your life.
Well, it was. I mean, I was a kid that I dreamed a lot, and I dreamed one day I was playing basketball. I dreamed I was going to play baseball, football, but when it all really came to a whole, I really put all my energy and effort into basketball, and it was a dream that I believed that I could achieve, and I worked at it. And as you said, it wasn't an easy journey for me. I walked on to college and earned my way to be drafted number 5 in the NBA in my senior year.
It's incredible. And you also had some really tough things behind the scenes happening, some family tragedies that you had to push through. What kept you going during the hard times?
Well, I think I just stuck with my dream. You know, I knew that there were some obstacles that I was going to have to cross before I made it. But, you know, with the family tragedy and things of that nature that happened along my childhood, I didn't foresee that as part of my journey, but you know, those were things that just made me, as you say, persevere even more and want to do it for my family.
And I know your book, Unguarded, has been out for a while now. Was that therapeutic for you to write that? I mean, every chapter has something revealing. And I'm going to tell the folks at home watching this, get the book.
Yeah, read the book.
Download the audio. I mean, it is so good. And was it therapeutic for you to kind of go through that process?
It really was. It was very tough, to be honest, because I had to go back and try to relive my childhood of watching my brother being paralyzed. And, you know, he's still living today, thank God. And, you know, my father having a stroke and just us having to take care of them, you know, for most of my childhood.
Wow. It really is an eye-opening look into so many details about your life, Scottie, that many of us, you know, you watch you on the basketball court and you think, this guy has it easy. He's got it all together.
Made.
Yeah, but people don't understand that it took a lot of struggles to get there. Let's talk about why you're here in Houston. And I know everyone remembers you from the Bulls, but we can't forget you were a Rocket for a hot minute.
Yes, I was a Rocket for a hot minute.
Just for a minute. So welcome back. And now you're in the booze business. This is great.
Yeah, I'm in the booze business. First of all, I want to thank the Redmond family who's hosting me at Specs. So that's why, you know, I'm here in Texas and having this opportunity to share this bourbon with you guys as well. So I'm very happy that they host me here.
It's great. And what kind of made this happen? I mean, you don't just say, well, I'm going to make some bourbon today.
Well, I've always sort of been a bourbon drinker. And I don't know, I think during the pandemic, my business partner and I was just sitting around and he said, hey man, you should have your own bourbon. You got the swag, you got the voice, and you enjoy drinking bourbon. So we ended up sending my business partner ended up sending a message to Dave Finney's company at Savage and Cook, and they got the message. They didn't think it was real, but they did reach out, and we was able to connect. I had a long dinner with Dave Finney down in Florida. He flew in, and we spent about 6 hours drinking some wine and talking about how we can get this bourbon going. And lo and behold, handshake deal, and here we are about 1.5 years later.
Fantastic.
See, I think it makes total sense, too, because you do have the voice, you've got the swagger. We've seen George Clooney, Ryan Reynolds, George Strait do it. I think it makes sense. Talk to us about the process, because this is aged 5 years, is that right?
Yes, it's a 5-year-old bourbon. And actually, my master distiller, Jordan Veal, who's going to be in town today, is a lot better at telling you about this bourbon, but I can definitely tell you it is a great bourbon. It has some great flavors in it, I tell you. It's got a real good vanilla, a little.
Yeah, and it has more. Sometimes you sniff a bourbon and it's very alcohol forward. This is not. It has like that maple syrup.
Yes, exactly.
Scent to it.
Definitely got a little maple.
I like it. Should we cheers?
Cheers.
Let's toast to you, Scottie. And
cheers.
Thanks for being so open about your life. And this is 92 proof, by the way, so sip slowly. I'm just saying.
It's a good
delicious.
day at work when this happens.
It's a good day at work.
Right.
Hey, so as Scottie mentioned, he is actually signing Digits bottles, taking photos. This is at the OG Specs there on Smith Street. And you can't miss it. Tomorrow starting at 4:30 to 6 p.m. My recommendation, get there early, because I'm sure there's going to be a line all the way to downtown.
I hope so.
There will be. This is absolutely lovely. It's such a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for coming back to Houston.
It is such a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me, and cheers again.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Scottie. So nice to meet you.
And by the way, to learn more about Digits Bourbon and tomorrow's meet and greet with Scottie, head over to the Scene on Houston Life section of our website.
It's a good day at work.
It's a real good day at work.
Some bourbon and Scottie Pippen. Who knew? All right. Shifting gears now, taking a hard turn, stroke treatment and recovery has been a huge topic in the news recently. When we come back, we'll share one woman's story and what her life has been like after having a stroke.
And later, game, set, and match. We're playing tennis with a local varsity player, giving an important lesson on positivity and resilience. That and so much more when Houston Life returns.
May is National Stroke Awareness Month, and when it comes to getting the right treatment, time is of course critical, something one local woman knows all too well. In December 2021, Agnes de Guzman was a vibrant woman. Then she woke up in the middle of the night feeling confused and not well. She went to Memorial Hermann Katy Hospital and was later told she'd had a stroke. Once she was discharged from acute care, she went to Memorial Hermann Rehabilitation Hospital Katy to begin her rehabilitation journey. And Agnes de Guzman joins us now along with her doctor, Dr. Chukwu Ibekwe, medical director at Memorial Hermann Rehabilitation Hospital Katy. Welcome to you both. It's great to see you.
Great to see you.
Okay, Agnes, we got to start with you. So thank you for sharing your very personal story with us today. Of course, we know that recovery can be long. How is it going for you, and how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay. Feeling great. No pains. The recovery is going well. I attend rehab sessions twice a week. And I graduated, so to speak, with speech therapy, and I'm just doing occupational therapy and physical therapy.
Okay, and I understand that the stroke really had an effect on both your speech, swallowing, also your ability to walk. But I understand that during therapy, music and dancing were actually very helpful tools for you. Is that true?
Yeah, it was, because I used to do Zumba pre-stroke, and that made me more agile and able to recover faster, so to speak, in regards to physical therapy.
Well, that's great. I think you look and sound great. I'm glad to know you're doing better. Dr. Ibekwe, let's turn it over to you. So stroke is so common, tragically. In the United States, 795,000 people every year have a stroke?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So stroke is a very common condition that we see. And, you know, one of the important processes, you know, after the acute hospitalization stay is to identify whether or not someone would be appropriate for rehabilitation. And someone like as amazing as Ms. Agnes, you know, have the opportunity to then initiate inpatient rehabilitation. And so we do know in the medical community there is strong data that supports the benefits of inpatient rehabilitation following a stroke. And you know, some of those benefits are highlighted in both in mobility, self-care ability, cognition, communication, and so much more. And so I think one of the important steps, you know, once someone has been stabilized following a stroke is to identify whether or not they'd be a good candidate for inpatient rehabilitation. And then if they are, to then find a facility that has a program with specialists that are well-versed in taking care of patients who need neurorehabilitation and neurorehab.
I'm so glad we're having this conversation because oftentimes we focus on, getting quick treatment, which is the first critical key. But we're seeing on the screen right now, these are inpatient activities that your patients are using to help improve their lives, essentially, after a stroke.
Correct. So we have a comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation team. This list is in no way exclusive. So yes, physical therapy, working primarily with strengthening, mobility. We have occupational therapy, working on activities of daily living, speech therapy, working on communication as well as cognition. There's neuropsychology. In addition, there's music therapy, there's rehab nursing. So it's a very comprehensive team.
Comprehensive. You took the word right out of my mouth. Dr. Ibekwe, thank you so much for your time. Agnes, it's great to see you doing so well, and I know you've hit so many milestones. We look forward to hearing more about your continued progress. Best of luck.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to you both. Appreciate it. And for more information, you can visit memorialhermann.org/lifeyoulove, or you can call 800-44-REHAB. That's 800-447-3422. All right, we're going to shift gears now, and we're going to turn it on over to Mr. Joe Sam, who has a very special place over in Montrose. Hey, Joe.
Hey guys, that's right. Yeah, May is also Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and today we're spotlighting a childhood friendship that grew into a successful business in Montrose. I caught up with the owners of 93 Till, who are living the American dream thanks to their parents who immigrated here after the Vietnam War. 93 Till, a cool collective eatery nestled right in the heart of Montrose, is a place filled with culture built from a family's will to survive and thrive.
And I really respect everything that our dads were able to do. They left a country with nothing, right? They were refugees from the Vietnam War. So escaping Vietnam was already a struggle, but then to go to a country where you don't know anyone, you don't speak the language, right? And to be able to build a life for your family, no words can really express what they were able to accomplish.
Longley and David, too, are Asian Americans. Both their dads became best friends and built the American dream for them after moving to Houston in the late 1970s, escaping Vietnam along with other refugees by boat. Many of those refugees didn't survive the journey, and even after making it to a refugee camp, had to earn money by loading and unloading ships for less than 25 cents a day, teaching both Long and David a valuable life lesson.
We really learned from them that sense of community, that sense of brotherhood, to look out for each other and to give each other opportunities, to find opportunities for each other to grow together.
And they've been able to grow the reputation of 93 Till, a laid-back record-born lounge inspired by similar concepts in Japan, and Lung's journey as a child from Sacramento to Houston in 1993. Lung and David wanted this space to focus on cultural inclusion while fusing Asian cuisine with the Texas flair.
It's a safe place for anybody. I'll do a little mix on Asian and Texan food, so it was kind of a play on, and which is what Houston's all about. It's just one giant mixing.
The unique thing about 93 Till is you kind of get to go to a place where you can unplug for a bit, listen to old vinyl records, music that you probably grew up on, eat food that's unique, different to Houston for sure, and relax with some drinks when, hang out with your friends.
Friendship is what 93 Till was built on, is being used as a space for reconnection of old friendships and new ones waiting to be made, offering a look inside another person's culture and background.
I think it's really important for everyone to share cultures, get to know each other. When you share cultures with each other, you start to understand each other a little bit better. For our community, Asian people have been in Houston forever. I mean, we have a huge population in Houston, and it's great to see that we're kind of fitting in nowadays. See where people come from, learn their story.
Now you'll be able to learn a little bit more about the story of these two after visiting their restaurant as they celebrate this month with special menu items that will transport you right outside of Houston. I'll have a link on our website, HoustonLife.tv, where you can learn a little bit more about 93 Till. Now guys, when you go there, it's more than just going to a restaurant. It really is like an experience. I had to jam out with some old, we talked about Janet Jackson earlier, had that going on, and the food, and it's real cool, calm, and collected, which I love.
Yeah, it looks great, and the story behind it makes it just a must visit.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Joe.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Well, still ahead, Reid Ryan is in the house. He was president of the Astros, currently owns the Round Rock Express. But coming up, he's talking about his dad, Nolan Ryan.
Super cool. But first, let's check in with Miss Lauren Kelly, who's getting some wedding advice from someone who might know a thing or two about weddings. Hi, Lauren.
That's right, Derek. You know her from the movie Father of the Bride, and now we're catching up with actress and busy mom, Kimberly Williams Paisley. We'll run down her summer plans that include her musician husband, Brad Paisley. That's when Houston Life returns.
Welcome back to Houston Live. Courtney and Derek back with you at 3:30 on this Monday.
It's a great Monday around Houston
It's so
Live,
much
isn't
fun.
it? Yeah, we had Scottie Pippen, Reid Ryan's in the house. We're about to meet another great young athlete, so stay tuned. We got some good stuff coming your way. But first, let's check in with Andy, Christine, and Frank for a look at what they have coming up at 4 o'clock. Hi, friends.
The entire station's in like a flurry because of Scottie Pippen. They're like, where is he? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, y'all didn't know he was coming, did you?
No, folks were camped out ready to take some selfies with him in the lobby.
I know.
Which
Great
is
guy.
exactly why we didn't tell you.
I know. That's right. That's why we can't have nice things. You guys can, we can't.
Leave him alone.
What a fun Monday, though, for sure. Okay, it's toasty out there. Frank, I feel like the 90s are just getting really nice and comfortable.
All right, but the star of the show last night was that lunar eclipse. Did you happen to see it?
Yes.
Part of it, yeah.
It was really, the sky was clear. There was a little breeze going. It felt good. I've had a zillion shots, too. Thank you to Click to Pins. And that's one of my favorites right there. That's just beautiful from Fulshire. It's nice and dark. In the meantime, look at that sky. It's not dark, is it? A lot of sunshine out there. Temperatures in the 90s, but they don't feel that much worse, if that sounds right to you. 92 still feels like 95. The humidity is still in the 40% range today. The dew points are generally below 70, so a little slug of dry air because of southwest winds that we are seeing. But still, it's right there in the low 90s, and we may end up with some records yet. I'm at 93, 94 as we head toward 4 or 5 o'clock, 93 at 6, and 90 at 7. So headed out with the dogs, make sure that they are well taken care of. Radar doesn't have much of anything, and I want to show you this futurecast because this is so exciting. First of all, hazy, hot, and humid all the way through Thursday. But then a front is on the way. Looks like it may well make it in here. So maybe a shower Friday night into Saturday, and along the front, some Saturday showers into Sunday. I think no one will complain, even though it's the weekend. We desperately need the rain because I've got 94 all the way really until Friday afternoon. We'll talk more about the full forecast coming up at 4.
Okay, Frank, thank you. Here's a look at some of the stories that we are working on for you this afternoon. We are learning more from police that the white gunman who killed 10 black people in a racially driven attack this weekend at a Buffalo, New York supermarket planned to keep killing if he'd escaped. It's just one of the new developments today. Our Brandon Walker is in Buffalo and will bring you live reports starting at 4 o'clock.
And an important recall to let you know about connected to some popular candy. What's inside that could be dangerous for anyone eating that particular candy?
Plus, as we explore ways to get to Mars, researchers are focusing in on one question: is it safe? The efforts underway to make sure our astronauts will remain safe.
So a lot coming up today at 4 o'clock, you two.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We'll be watching at 4. We'll see you then.
All right.
Okay, lightening things up just a bit. Of course, we all know and love the 1990s film Father of the Bride. It is considered a classic for most of us. It starred Kimberly Williams Paisley as Annie Banks, and at the time, it was her breakout role.
And I love Martin Short, Mr. Banks, and the moment where he's freaking out about the hot dog buns and the hot dogs, the ratios are off in the grocery store right before the wedding.
It's terrible.
She then takes on to star in major TV shows like According to Jim and Nashville, and she's stayed even busier, of course, with her busy family. Lauren Kelly got a chance to catch up with one of America's sweethearts. Hi, Lauren.
This was super cool, you guys. Whether you know her from any of those popular roles or as Mrs. Brad Paisley, Kimberly is a busy mom who's trying to get ready for an even busier summer. I got to chat with the actress all about her summer plans and, of course, one of her most famous roles.
And I know that a phrase I hear a lot is welcome to the 90s, Mr. Bank.
Welcome to the 90s, Mr. Banks.
And my kids have both been given math lessons with the hot dog buns.
I want to buy 8 hot dogs and 8 hot dog buns to go with them. But no one sells 8 hot dog buns. They only sell 12 hot dog buns.
You are absolutely one of my favorite actresses, not to mention that you married one of my absolute favorite country musicians, and now you guys have the best family. I love keeping up with y'all.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so good to talk to you.
What have you been up to these last couple of months? Why don't you just catch everybody in Houston up?
All right. Well, I just finished shooting a movie called Jesus Revolution, which I shot in Alabama. And now we're just gearing up for summer travel. My kids just got out of school and my husband's going to be touring. And so we're going to be tagging along and I'm really excited.
Okay, really quick. Brad Paisley's your husband. He was just here for the rodeo for the 14th time. He's legit one of our favorites to have here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Have you and the kids ever joined him for one of the shows here?
We have. It is such a fun time. He loves playing the rodeo. We love Houston.
Your husband's on tour, so you're kind of in charge of maybe hitting the road on a couple dates, but where do you start planning for these fun things?
Yeah, well, what I'm recommending today is that you start with booking a hotel that offers a hot breakfast. And so Hilton.
Because you know what? We're not cooking. We're not cooking.
I'm so sick of cooking. I've been cooking for years now. And one of the best parts of a vacation is not having to worry about it, not having to do dishes.
You're talking about booking hotel rooms, which I have recently had to do because I'm getting married in October. One of our all-time favorite movies, Kimberly, Father of the Bride. We can't not talk about it. Any advice for my Father of the Bride for later this year?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You can tell them to enjoy it and just have fun. That's for you too. Don't expect it to be perfect. I just went to my dad's wedding last weekend and he had so much fun. It was so wonderful to be the daughter of the groom. So anyway, I love weddings. So congratulations. I hope it goes really well.
Kimberly Williams Paisley, thank you so much for the chat. We are so excited to have you on Houston Live today. Hey, bring Brad and the kids back. I know there's a bunch of hotels down here in Houston. We'd love to have you stay.
All right. Thanks, Lauren.
So fun heading down memory lane with her. And for more sound advice for any father of the bride, just log on and check out the rest of my interview at HoustonLive.tv. But what about you guys? I need the chippa chicken. I wanted the chippa chicken. My dad and my mom have constantly said that. And now that we're planning a wedding, they're kind of referencing even more father of the bride.
You need a Martin Short wedding planner, front, Mr. Boggs.
Don't look at me.
And a tuxedo.
But you see, remember Steve Martin's character, he designed tennis shoes for people and he designed a special wedding pair for Kimberly Paisley's character. So I wore my tennis shoes with my dress.
Perfect, Lauren.
I think it's great. And you're a sneaker gal.
I am.
Which is so cute.
For the wedding.
Right? You're going to do it, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Love it, girlfriend.
That was
the
a
only way
fun
to stay
interview,
comfortable.
Lauren.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks. All right, still ahead on Houston Life. We're going to be heading outside to meet an inspiring local varsity tennis star who has been playing against all odds. You don't want to miss that.
But first, Reid Ryan is here talking all about the new movie about his dad, baseball great Nolan Ryan. We're going to chat with him right after the break.
Did you like scaring people?
I used it to my advantage when I could.
How would you do that?
Throw them inside.
Look out. Inside.
I love that little laugh at the end. That was a clip of Facing Nolan, a nearly 2-hour documentary about baseball great Nolan Ryan. His son, Reid Ryan, joining us now. It's so great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Congrats on this. First of all, how was this convincing your dad to do this documentary? Was it an easy feat?
Oh, no, of course. We said, hey, we think you should do this documentary. We went, no, right away.
No and never.
Yeah, no and never. And so we had to call the big guns in. We got my mom to lean in on him and got him to do it.
I love that. I love your mom. There's a lot of great stories about your mom too, but I love how you just use 2 words when you talk about her. Not just secret sauce.
Yes.
She was a secret sauce of your family, but also one of the biggest rocks for your dad during his career.
Well, and that's the thing I think people are going to really enjoy when they see this documentary. It's not just about baseball. It's really about issues that we all deal with in our life. Self-doubt. Everybody, even the great ones, have self-doubt. And that a lot of times you have to have people behind you. And my mom has been that person behind him since they were 15 and 13 and met his kids and have been married 55 years. And really, she is the star of this show.
It is so fantastic. I got to tell you, Reid, I watched the trailer about 16 times, and each time I heard something different, I saw something different, and then after that, I went and bought the tickets for my dad to see it in Chicago on May 24th. He's real excited, and all you have to do is say Nolan Ryan, and you get a reaction from people. Like, wow, he's the greatest. But what I love about the trailer is just when people are talking about the sound that the ball made hitting the catcher's mitt.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he threw a ball like no other. It had a sound to it. You heard 10 guys go whoosh or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd hear it coming. And that's one of the neat things is my dad's career was so long, 27 years, from really playing against people like Hank Aaron and Mickey Mantle all the way to Jose Canseco. And it's a time capsule of our lives. You remember where you are. This game of baseball really brings communities together, and it freezes time from everybody from parents to kids, and it's just a very special film.
It really is, and I would imagine too, just hearing the words and the stories that your dad is saying. Of course, he was part of the documentary. But what about the others? We saw former President Bush, 43 is in there. I mean, of course, all the baseball greats. And what was that like to hear all of these?
Well, it was a lot of fun to put together because, you don't know going into something like this who will agree to do it and who won't. And pretty much everybody we asked said, yeah, count me in. And I think for me, it was watching my dad's reaction the first time we debuted the film at South by Southwest Film Festival. He wasn't expecting to hear those people say those things about him because he was such a competitor. And I think in a lot of ways it was self-affirmation that maybe he carried himself and played the right way. And I think what folks will see in this movie is that there's some themes today that, like, it's not always easy. It's tough. And you have to have grit, and you have to continue to work hard and improve. And having competition for yourself is a good thing because you're not always going to win. And when you fail, how do you overcome that and go out and win the next time?
What is so incredible when you talk about the grit and you in the documentary, and I've heard you say this before, at one point, your dad was making, $7,000?
He was. His first year in the major leagues, he made $7,000, and he worked installing air conditioning, central heating and air in the off season to be able to make ends meet. He also pumped gas in Alvin at the Chevron station. And so he really went from ball players having to scrape by at the major league level to becoming the first $1 million athlete. And it's quite a transition in his life.
It's a really incredible. What's it like to have Nolan Ryan as your dad?
It's a lot of fun. He's a loving dad. And what I like most about this film, for many people, he's this competitor, fierce, put on a mask of a really serious, tough guy. But you get to see behind the scenes with his grandkids, with us, what it was like to grow up in a major league clubhouse. We have some really cool videos that no one's ever seen before. And it's a deep dive into what our family's really like and what it's like to be Nolan Ryan, the ball player and the father.
What's really cool too, he also coached you at one point, didn't he?
Well, no, he wasn't able to coach me because he
Okay.
always played. My mom coached me and Alvin in Little League, and it was pretty cool. It was
Oh
cool
my
having somebody
gosh.
to coach. But he did in college a little bit. He was
Okay.
around at the end of his career. Yeah.
That is so awesome. Okay, a few stats. We're going to leave people with this one. 27 years in the MLB, 324 wins, 5,714 strikeouts, 7 no-hitters, no Cy Young, which is the...
Correct. It was kind of one of the knocks that
Yeah.
he had on his career. And when you think about controversy or how do you have conflict in a film like this, he wasn't the guy that was living under the bridge or that had the drug problem or something like that. The conflict really came from, did people consider him to be one of the greats?
And you got to see the movie to get that.
That's
Reid,
right.
Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank
we do
you.
appreciate you being here. Love the conversation. Can't wait to see the movie.
Keep up the great work. May 24th, facingnolan.com.
That's right. And we do have a link to learn more on our website, HoustonLife.tv. And we're going to send it outside to Derrick for a look at what's coming up in the rest of the show. Hi, Derrick.
Courtney, that was a great conversation. Great day to be outside. And coming up after the break, we're getting a tennis lesson from a very talented 15-year-old Sugar Land student. There he is, right there. His
Awesome.
name.
Thank you.
And he is inspiring.
I'll send it out.
On and off the court. Do not go away.
There we go. Oh, is he playing him?
Perfect. Yeah.
Welcome back to Houston Life. Physical limitations? No way, according to one 15-year-old from Sugar Land you're about to meet.
That is right. Despite a congenital amputation, he's made a tennis team at George Ranch High School, and he's joining us now. We have Clay Watson here. Good to see you, Clay.
You too.
Okay, I didn't know we had a tennis court set up here.
Yeah, we work hard here at Houston Life, and you're going to show us how it's done in just a minute. But first, talk to us a little bit about your story, because when you were younger, you were playing Little League, and then in 7th grade, you were just telling me the night before tennis tryouts, you decided you were going to go for the team.
Yes, sir. It was like a last-minute decision. My friends were playing on the tennis team. They all had fun. They said it was like a really fun time. So I was like, why not try out? And I ended up making it. I was like one of the last guys on the team, but it ended up being a wonderful experience, and it was so fun, and then it stuck with me till today.
It is so awesome, and I would imagine people probably see you play all the time. They come up to you, they want to talk. How do you do it? How do you do it? I mean, it basically is no different than anybody else. You practice, right?
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. I get compliments all the time, and like even tournaments, practice, or just like even whenever like people at our school like watching us practice, and it makes me feel great to, like, whenever they give me those compliments, to know that I can inspire others like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you've been very open about your congenital amputation, and it hasn't held you back one bit, has it?
No, sir, not at all.
It's fantastic. Your parents are here, by the way, Matt and Terry. They're over there. They're standing by very proudly. Hi, Matt and Terry. I know.
Oh, there you go.
I know.
Sorry.
They don't want to be on TV. They don't want to be on TV. So your parents have been so supportive, but you also have 2 older sisters,
Yes,
is that right?
I do. They have been so supportive through my whole life, and I'm very grateful for both of them.
The youngest of 3, all 3 of us, by the way, because you're the youngest of 3.
Yes.
I'm the youngest of 3. You're the youngest of 3. Where are we going to see you in the pros? Like, what are your plans?
I mean, who knows? I hope.
It is so cool. I mean, you know, when you think about this, did you ever think when you were younger, you know, maybe this sport isn't for me because of the hand that you've been dealt, right? I mean, did you ever think that?
I mean, I thought that about a few things, like a few sports, but then like once I ended up like trying it out, I was like, I can do this. I can figure out a way to do this, so I might as well give it a go. And look, and it led me to this. So.
Yeah, and look at you now too. I mean, it really is incredible. We've been rolling video of you playing on the court. I know this court is maybe, I don't know.
Not regulation.
Yeah,
definitely not regulation.
But did they tell us you're going to teach us how to surf?
Yes.
Is that it?
For
Okay.
sure.
Why don't you demonstrate for us, and then we can try it.
Yeah.
Do we stay on opposite sides? I mean, I know how to play tennis.
Yeah,
but we
serve
all
at
stay
us?
opposite sides.
If y'all can move out of the way, I'll serve right down the middle.
Okay.
But for me, I serve like with the ball between my arm and the racket, and then I just simply toss it up and then give it a whirl.
All right. Wow.
But for y'all could use your other hand.
Okay.
Simply just toss it up. You can grab a few balls here.
That is super cool. Okay. You just happen to have these standing by.
The net.
Dad Matt has some.
So yeah, basically just toss it up.
CZ, you want to go first?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you got that.
You got this.
Perfect.
Wow.
It didn't quite hit the racket head.
There's contact.
But there is contact.
Oh, sorry. That was a little harder than I meant.
Wow, it's very aggressive.
that was great.
Very aggressive.
Any tips for us? Oh! I swear my nose almost was sliced right off.
Well, hey, you're gonna serve it up, bro.
Hey, any tips for us, Clay? Maybe less anger.
Yeah, just maybe take a little off when you're serving it straight at someone, but
I'll go a little softer for you.
Okay, a little softer.
I mean, that's good for a match.
Okay, not so bad. I'm gonna do one more.
Y'all have this down.
Oh. Okay. Wow, Clay, that was really cool. And listen, I think it is super cool that you are sharing your story. And again, it hasn't slowed you down, your congenital amputation. It's only like fueled the great life that you have ahead of you.
Yes,
so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you being here, Clay, and keep us posted on what happens in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Will do.
Okay, well, why don't we take a quick commercial break? After the break, we're going to check out what's coming up on tomorrow's show. But first, I think we're going to go to Entertainment Tonight. See what's
we are. Let's check in with Entertainment Tonight.
Derrick and Courtney tonight on ET, the latest from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. What does this mean for the future of the Pirates franchise? Then, Bobby Brown's biggest Whitney Houston revelations 10 years after her death. Plus, we're backstage at the Billboard Music Awards. You don't want to miss it. That's tonight at 6:30 right here on KPRC2. But don't go anywhere because Houston Life will be right back.
Coming up tomorrow on Houston Life, the son and the daughter-in-law of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg share details on a special musical performance and dinner coming to Houston to salute the work and life of RBG.
Can't wait for that. It's going to be fantastic. Listen to this. Plus, in honor of National Dog Month, we're showing some cool and easy tricks to teach your pup in no time.
Oh, listen, that is so great. People often ask us about Tex and how he's so well behaved and so well socialized.
He is.
A little bit of training, though, goes a long way.
Goes a long way. I mean, but you have to work with them every day.
Yeah, he's a good boy. We're still a little bit out of breath from our little tennis match out there with Clay.
It was so good. He's awesome, right?
He's great, yeah.
I love that. And I hope no matter what obstacle you're facing, I hope you can take his story and let it fuel you, because that is really incredible.
My friend Liz Darby, I was telling you, was born with a congenital amputation, and everyone would always ask her, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Well, when she had a baby and she was working the phones and doing the laptop and everything, it didn't slow her down at all. So I think it's great when people share their story.
Where's our bourbon?
Oh, yeah, Scottie Pippen.
We're thirsty.
You still here?
He is. Our glasses are over there. Okay. Hey, fun show today, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good to me. We'll see you tomorrow, but in the meantime, Andy and Christine are standing by. Hi, guys.
You guys, that was a great start to the week.
I know.
Well
Super
done.
fun.
We had fun.
It's all downhill from here. Just kidding.
No, we're just at the bar high. We know you'll need it.
I'm just kidding.
You too. We'll be tuned in for the laughs and whatever train wreck unfolds this week.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
The eternal optimist over here.
We love you too. We love you too.
We love you too.